What's going on, everybody? I hope everybody's having a marvelous day today. It's starting to get a little cooler, so that's cool. That's cool because this Texas heat was getting to me. But anyway, I thought I'd share a video on my experience at air assault school. All right, so I'm from New York. I'm from the city. Spent half my life in New York, the other half in South Carolina. I've never been physically active or anything of that nature. I was more of a just cool, laid back type person. I was more into art and stuff like that. That was my personality. So I didn't come into the military no physically fit, no stud or nothing of that nature. I literally had to start from the bottom up. Trust me. So when I say that, if I can do it, anybody can do it. And I mean that. But anyway, so I'm in the military at this point. I am in AIT, Advanced Individual Training, which is the school, whatever job that you pick. If you decide to join, you'll go to a specific school, and that school will teach you how to do the job that you pick. So I'm in AIT. Usually around the halfway point of school is when you'll find out where you're going to be stationed at. So our instructors were like, everybody, like, pull up your records. Your orders should be out to where you're going. So everybody's pulling up their stuff. People getting Texas, some people getting like Korea, some people getting Hawaii. I personally, at the time, wanted to go to Fort Hood. I've always said, like I've said in my other videos, Texas was always the #1 place that I've always wanted to go to. Reason being, Texas is one of the biggest states in the United States of America. Texas has one of the few states that has multiple professional sports teams. So I always knew that Texas had a lot to offer, and I've always wanted to come here. So Texas, like Fort Hood, was my #1 because that was the only duty station that I knew of that was in Texas. Pardon me one second. Even though it's chilly outside, it's kind of hot in my car. Let me turn my car on real quick and get some air. All right, that's better. All right, so anyway, find out. I look mine up. I'm like, please don't send me somewhere crazy. I look it up, and I'm going to Kentucky. I'm going to Fort Campbell, Kentucky. I know nothing about the military. I know nothing about Kentucky. I've only been to New York and South Carolina. So I'm like, Kentucky. First thing popped in my head, I'm about to be out in the country. It's going to be like one diner. It's going to be a whole bunch of cows, and and then the diner don't want black people in there. I'm just thinking all this stuff. I'm like, oh my goodness. So do some research, find out that Fort Campbell, Kentucky is a prestigious duty station, home of the Screaming Eagle. I'll post a picture. All right, so Screaming Eagle, this is one of the most popular units in the United States of America. Almost everybody knows the Screaming Eagle. If you watch any military movies, 9 times out of 10, the unit comes from Screaming Eagle. Everybody knows the Screaming Eagle. So they're known for air assault. Sabalowski, home of air assault school. So off the rip, everybody's telling me you're gonna go to air school. I'm like, oh my goodness, what am I getting into? I'm looking at pictures. It's looking like they out in the mountains. I don't know what to expect. I'm like, oh man, I wasn't feeling it. I'm not gonna lie to you, I wasn't feeling it. So I get to Fort Campbell, I in process, and I get to my unit. Instantly they were like, you're going to air assault school. So in order to get into any military school, you have to pass a PT test. So getting to Fort Campbell was just a whole different, the air was different. It was like much thicker, it was different. And I sucked at running at this point. I was horrible at running. Running was not my thing. So taking the PT test for air assault school, I think I ran like a 20-minute 2-mile, which is completely unacceptable. So I didn't get in. We ended up deploying shortly after. And then after the deployment, I got in super shape. During the whole deployment while I was out in Kuwait, I worked out. I spent 60% of my time working out. I lost over 40 pounds. I was running 13-minute 2 miles. I'm in super shape, and I'm ready now. I'm energized. So we come back from the deployment. First thing on my goal, I want to go to air assault school. So finally, when I was able to get in, it was around the winter time. This is the coldest time of the year in Fort Campbell. It was snowing. It was ice sheets everywhere. We had snowstorms, and that was when I was going to air assault school. I remember there was ice everywhere. And for the first week, we couldn't run because it was too dangerous to run. We get to aerosol school.
New text message from 3880909.
Okay. Anyway, we get to aerosol school. I am going during the coldest time. All right. So aerosol school was interesting to say. All right. First day, day 0. This is the day where they weaving out who was here, who's playing, and who's serious. I get there, instantly, they start smoking us. For those of you who do not know what smoking means, it means that they are going to do physical training on you until you literally have no energy left. So they smoking the mess out of us. We doing push-ups, we doing flutter kicks, all this different stuff for about an hour. I'm thinking I'm about to die. I went with one of my best friends. We both went together, and after you get smoked for about an hour, you do the obstacle course, which consists of climbing a rope. You got to navigate through these obstacles and things of that nature. The hardest obstacle being the rope climb. When you climb the rope, you get up on this type of thing. You got to go through these, you got to navigate on these bars that are separated like almost a foot from each other, and you're looking down at the ground. Then you got to climb this ladder even further up, and then climb all the way back down. That was the last thing. So I did it. I completed it. And after that was all said and done, we all went back into this room, and we're all sitting there. We all made it. I'm looking around. I'm like, where's my friend at? And I didn't see my friend no more for the rest of the day. So they was like, congratulations, y'all made it through day 0. Come tomorrow, have your packing list, things of that nature. Kind of found out my friend didn't make it. He couldn't get over the obstacle course. It was just entirely too cold for him. He couldn't make it, so he dropped. I think we had like over 300 people who went to the school at the time, and like almost 50 to 60 didn't make the cut on day 0. So day 1, we come back, we had to take the PT test. After we took the PT test and we came back, we had to lay out all of our gear. So aerosol is big on attention to detail. You have to have attention to detail. It's important because aerosol is pretty much you being able to operate from a Black Hawk or some type of helicopter. So it's about sling loading, it's about rappelling, it's about fast roping from a helicopter. In order for you to be on that level, you have to pay attention to detail, because you have to know how to tie your own knots to be able to latch your equipment on to be able to rappel. It's just a whole, you have to pay attention to detail. So we had a packing list. We had an assault pack, which is a book bag, and we had a packing list of all the things that we had to have on us at all times. And through random times throughout the day, they would be like, pull this out. And if you didn't have it, you was getting kicked out. So anyway, we had to lay out all of our stuff. We had to lay it out in a particular way, the way they wanted it to be exact T. And then after that, you had to pull out your dog tags and you stand in parade rest. Shout out aerosol. So we're doing that. I pull out my dog tags, and I'm looking, and I saw this officer. He was a captain, and he was still trying to get his stuff together. Time ran out, and they said stop. There was no instructors near us. He looked around, pulled out his dog tag. As soon as he did that, these instructors came out like sharks. Get out! What did I tell you? Yeah, get out! They kicked him out. Captain. I've never seen that before. I'm like, oh, they not playing. So aerosol has 3 phases: phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. Phase 1, you're going to learn about hand signals and how to land a Black Hawk, like how to guide a Black Hawk to land. You're learning hand signals to be able to guide them. All right. Phase 2, that's the hardest phase in my opinion. You pretty much, it's about sling loading. So sling loading is a Black Hawk lifting up items. Like you have certain items that we transport, in a Black Hawk or a helicopter is coming to lift it up. You're latching it onto the helicopter for it to go take it to wherever it needs to go. Right. So you have certain items that we normally sling load. So you have to inspect these items and make sure that the tape was on it correctly, make sure the straps, everything was on it correctly. All right. They had this box called the bag called the green bag or something like that. And it was so hard to be able to inspect because everything was green. And that got a lot of people kicked out of school. You get 2 chances to do everything. And if you don't make it the second time, you out. So we lost like 100 people to the green bag. So we had to learn how to inspect for a Humvee, this green bag, and I forgot what the other item was. All right. So then phase 3 is you learning how to tie ropes, how to tie the your belt, your strap, because this is what you're going to be latching onto when you're on the Black Hawk. You also do practice rappels from from the famous Sabalowski Aerosol School Tower. and you'll do different types of rappels and different types of fast ropes. I am from New York. I'm not into the action stuff. I was afraid of heights. All right, I was terrified being on that tower. We're up on that tower. They just hanging from it freely and all. I am terrified. Every time we went up that tower, my heart was about to beat out of my chest. All right. So one of the things that got me through was, number one, I made it this far. I done did all this stuff. I done did the 6 miler. I done did the PT test. I done did the obstacle, all that. I done did the school. I'm not about to fail. Then number two, I was thinking about my mother always being worried about me. And that made me want to do it, because like, it sounds like messed up, but my mom was afraid of me doing something. It made me want to do it. So whenever I was hanging from that tower, I would always think about my mom being down there worried about me, and it made me have the courage to do it. Like, yeah, I got to show my mom I can do this. So I was able to do it. So then after you do your rappels, you learn how to do them, and you go through the rappels, right? And you do the 3 different ones that they want you to do. You made it, right? The last thing that you got to do is the 12 mile. You got to do the 12 mile in 3 hours or below. So you have your full gear on. You got your uniform, you got your boots on, you got your air assault pack with your packing list. You were in full battle rattle, which means you got your Kevlar on, you got a rifle, you got your vest on with the plates and all that stuff. And you had to do a 12 miler. So 6 miles there and 6 miles back in under 3 hours. And that's the day of graduation. So that morning, you had to get it like 3 something in the morning to be out there. So I did it in like 2 hours and 20 minutes, and then that's it. You made it. Graduation is that day. So then after you make it and you do that, then they congratulate everybody. We rehearse for the ceremony, and then we break out. Everybody changes their clothes and all that stuff like that, and we come back. So your feet blistering. You just did a 12 mile, and you sitting there. But it was great. It was a great experience. It's something that I'm proud of. And no matter what, I will always have these wings. And that was air assault school. Everywhere that we went while we were in school, we had to run. And we had to shout air assault. So it was air assault, air assault, air assault, air assault. You know what I'm saying? Whatever group that you was with, y'all had your own saying. You had to be proud when you were saying it. You shouted it. You know what I'm saying? We said air assault all the time. Air assault, air assault. Every time you left school, you had to go up to the pulleys and you had to do 5 pull-ups in full battle rattle. Shouting out air assault. Air assault. You know what I'm saying? And for the rest of my life, I am air assault qualified. That means that I am capable of doing sling load operations or rappelling or fast roping. And then I missed that part. So then one of the activities that you do is you actually get to rappel or sling rope, or do a sling rope exercise, or sling load exercise from a Black Hawk. And we did that. And I remember being on the Black Hawk, right? I had to tie my own knot. So whatever happened, it's on me. So I tied my knot, how I was taught. We get on the Black Hawk. Both doors are open. They gave us our numbers because we were all going to jump out based on your number. And he would call you. Go, 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 right? So you tied your, you had your thing. You secured it, right? And you're on your, this is secured to the rope, and I'm on the edge to where I can look. I'm right by the door, right? I'm looking down and I can see the grass right there. In literally 5 seconds, the ground turned to like, I was like, how do we get up here that fast? And we were up in the air. I'm nervous as I don't know what. So the Black Hawk flew. We were able to fly around. So the Black Hawk flew around Fort Campbell. So we actually got to fly around Fort Campbell. All right, so I'm literally almost out the door, and the Black Hawk is going around Fort Campbell, and it was beautiful. While we were flying around, there were other Black Hawks out there doing training for other people in different schools, and there were people hanging from the rope. So you would see a Black Hawk in the sky, and there was a rope, and there were people literally free, like they was attached to the rope, and they had their arms out, and they just going around. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. So we get back, and now it's time for us to finally implement what we learned. And we had the fast rope down this rope. I think we were 60 or 90 feet in the air. All right. Only thing that you have is your safety, your belt. That has the little I don't remember the verbiage for everything, but it was like this metal ring, and it had the rope that was clicked in. All right. So it's my turn. He's calling everybody. They're going down. It's my turn. I come up. I swear my soul left my body, and I watched myself do it because I couldn't do it. Somebody else had to do it. So my soul left my body and watched me as I did it. And it felt like I was in a video game looking at myself, a character, do it, because it wasn't me. My soul left my body. So my soul floated out my body. I'm looking at myself. Go. You had a duck walk. You get yourself together. Look down. Do your thing. So then once I landed, as soon as I hit the ground, my soul went back into my body, and I was like, I completed it. Then you run away from the Black Hawk. We also did sling load exercises where the Black Hawk would come, and we would sling load, either it was a Humvee or the green bag or whatever it was for them to do that. But it was an amazing experience, and it's something that I won't forget, and it's something that I can say I'm proud of doing. I did air assault. Me, a kid from Jamaica, Queens, New York, who was partially raised in South Carolina, who never been in no helicopter or anything of that nature. I am air assault qualified, and I did a sling rope and rappelled from a Black Hawk at 90 feet, and it was amazing. So yeah, that's just an experience, my experience from air assault school, a little bit of it. I hope that you all have a good day today, and as I always say, if you have any questions, concerns, or anything, keep in contact me and let me know, and I will tell you everything that I know. All right, make the best of your day, and no matter what it is that you want to do, you do it to the best of your ability. Have a good one.